how often do you hear that, the situation where, and you may have even experienced this yourself, where it's like, oh, I can't talk to my friends or my family about a particular issue of what's going on in the world because, they just don't get it, or they're asleep, or they believe the mainstream stuff, or whatever it might be. And it's always, people will come and ask me, because I've been doing this work for so many years. They'll say, how do I talk to them? What do I say? What's the thing that I say to wake them up? As if like they're the problem, and that the person delivering the discussion or the conversation or the idea around something may not be the problem, right? Because the idea is like, once you're awake, once you know the truth, that's it. You know the truth, you're good. Everyone else is just asleep, right? This is a common belief. And I would often say, well, how do you go about talking to them, right? And you'd see these examples. Sometimes I would actually witness it if I was there, or you would hear the way they would talk, and you kind of play devil's advocate with them. You start to realize that the issue in a lot of cases is actually the person, not the person receiving, but the person delivering. There's a sense of like, I know something, you don't know it, and I got to like force it on you. You got to know what it is that I know. And if you don't believe me, there's something wrong with you, right? A lot of insults, a lot of, aggressive ways of speaking, and or there's a lot of, sort of sensitivity. There's a lot of like, I'm like anxious about talking to them because I'm so afraid. And what all of this stuff points to is a physiology that's afraid, or that's defensive, or that's aggressive. And that physiology doesn't just give off cues in the face and the eyes and the tone of voice and the tonality of the voice and the body postures. It doesn't just give off that appearance, those subtle unconscious cues to the other person that, hey, whoa, there's something up here. But it also gives off an energetic electromagnetic field of those same things, of maybe angstiness, maybe a lack of safety, maybe a sense of aggression. And so on multiple layers, this other human is feeling this stuff, and they're seeing it, and it's processing behind the scenes as cues that are coming in that says, something's off here, something's not safe. And in that alone, that person who's receiving the information may very well be like, I don't know, because something about this feels off, right? Now, of course, there is still the fact that if you were in a great spot, felt grounded, you showed up to the person totally listening with a lot of respect and a sense that you were grounded in sharing what you were sharing in good faith, there's a possibility that what you say actually triggers them. And then they go, shit, and they start getting defensive and aggressive and, oh, you're stupid and this, that, whatever, right? And that's possible too. But I think the point I'm trying to make here is that the people that have primarily asked me over the course of time, what do I have to say? What is it that I can't talk to my friends or family. I can't, because they don't get it. Most of the time, it's actually them that is giving off the energy, and they don't realize it because of maybe the way that they're coming across. Because the truth is, in the 15 years that I've been doing this, and all of the thousands of people I've talked to, friends, family, all these folks, strangers, anybody, about different ideas, about approaching something in a different way, offering a different explanation, there's almost never a negative experience. I've had maybe one or two, maybe three negative experiences in 15 years. And what I mean by negative is an experience where that person got really upset with me, or was like, don't talk to me about this, or, something like that. And it's because of the way that I hold my own energy, my own being, when I engage these people. I talk to them as if I'm curious to know what they think of the different perspective that I'm sharing. Right? There's an honest, embodied sense of that. I'm not faking that to try and manipulate them into believing what I'm saying. It's deeply embodied, right? And this is where, it's not just about debating ideas. I think this, Western society in particular is stuck in this idea of overvaluing debate. I don't think debate's that valuable. What's valuable is synthesized good faith discussions. So this would be two people coming to the table potentially with different ideas, and in good faith wanting to understand, why do you believe what you believe, or what led you to that? And here's what I think, and here's where my experience has brought me in. Where can we sort of build a synthesis? And I'm not just trying to defeat you. I'm not trying to get you to see what I see or believe what I believe, but I'm actually trying to find a sense of synthesis. And that there not only comes from a totally different energy and state of being, but also comes from a different cognitive process, right? We're almost coming from creativity as opposed to a known reality that's held, that is trying to be defended, or there's convincing going on, right? So there's a more, in a sense, what my hands want to do is they want to close up when we're debating and become smaller, whereas when we're synthesizing, there's space for expansion, opening, possibility, collective wisdom. A field is created that is almost exciting, right? And so just to recap this, it's like, think a lot about the energy, the state of being that you're bringing, and be really, really, really honest to yourself. What energy or state of being are you bringing to a conversation that you're having with folks? And are you trying to convince them of stuff? And on top of that, what would it be like to synthesize ideas in good faith versus to just debate and try and get everybody to believe, let's say, something that you might believe? What would that look like? How does that even feel in your body when you consider those two possibilities? That's it. That's all.